Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. We are back right here with the ECR Next Gen Cup League. Man, we are going to the Legacy, Texas. None of this repave stuff, man. It's going to be a cheese grater on Goodyear's tonight. We were off last week because, well, we had a big windstorm, and I didn't have any power to be able to do this. So I apologize to all those fans out there for our off week, but that doesn't mean we don't have stuff to talk about, Kevin. Sounds like some people got in a little bit of trouble while we were gone.
We ruffled a few feathers. We're starting out the race with a couple guys kind of on the naughty list already. So uh, Aaron Miller, Pete, and Chris are all three going to be starting this. Chris Roth and Pete in the 74. We're going to be starting this race off on the probation list, and it'll be interesting to watch what these guys do. Are they going to how do they react to that? Do they race differently, or do they, do you just kind of, metaphorically speaking, throw the helmet on and just keep on doing your deal? So
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I mean, Richmond, that's a place that can certainly ruffle a lot of feathers, and we all know that, and it sounds like we missed a pretty chaotic race. But right now on your screen, guys, we've got the updated points. We can see right now the 94 of Adam Boughton leading the points. Tyler Burden, John Osborne, and I think last week's winner, Travis Gilbert, has made a significant leap up in points, rounding out the top four there. Yeah, and I hate it for Travis and those guys. I'm sure they put on one heck of a show. Anytime you can win Richmond, you have done your job, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Challenging track.
Yes.
And the reason that we see the tempers flare is typical short track. People get in there, you get some bumping and grinding, and people get some hurt feelings, and sometimes that spills over. And again, Texas is a different animal. We'll see if in the real life you got to worry about hurting somebody. Here you don't really worry about anything other than just affecting other people's races. So
yeah,
you very well could have something happen. We see these cars spread out tonight. A couple of these guys that had a little beef last week very well could carry over to this week. So,
hey, you never know. It could. It definitely
we're not
could.
lacking the storyline.
Nope, that is for sure. And I guess really, no surprise right now that we do have the 94 up front on the pole. Adam has been fast for the 2 seasons that we've been here, and that's really no surprise. An awesome qualifying effort by Stan Carnathan here, followed by Brad Rivers and John Osborne in that 81, rounding out the top 2 rows. So some really good laps by these guys. And man, yeah, I mean, I watched a little bit of practice, and I think you're going to see some comers and goers like I made mention. This is going to be a cheese grater on those Goodyears, and tire management is going to be key here tonight at the old Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, you only get 4 sets sitting down there in the pit. Got to make them last 150 laps.
Yes, you do. And the pace car is off, and we are green flag racing here for race number 7 of the ECR Next Gen Cup League. Adam Boughton leading the way, live right here on the 213 Broadcast Network from Texas. Let's get it, boys.
Big jump there you see from Adam Boughton. Gets himself well clear of Stan Carnathan as they go off in the corner. And Stan running a little bit higher line already.
Oh, see somebody down low.
Missed the bottom there. Ooh, yeah, somebody in the back. Couldn't see a car number on that.
I think it might have been the 84, but yeah. Sorry to cut you off there.
Just, seeing, and we saw the same thing here in 3 and 4. I don't know if Stan's running a little bit higher line trying to keep his nose out in that clean air, or if he's just, I mean, you haven't missed 3 corners in a row and he's still running out there. So I think he's just looking for a little bit of clean air, and that could be a big thing. There is no iRacing setup for this track, and so we're running a baseline setup that iRacing has. Works out well here, but those tend to be more on the tight side, and something you can do is keeping that clean air on your nose even early on like this. Keep it from having a little bit too much wheel input and in the corner, and you really scrub off that right front tire. So
yeah,
already we're seeing these guys trying to kind of shake it up and run something different. Ooh, you see Stan about
yeah, he sure did.
Too.
Boy, there's craziness going all the way through the field here. Somebody ducking way down low here. Looks like the 84, maybe a Michael York had a big moment.
It was a big moment there.
It's always been a really cool racetrack, man. I was very, very fortunate to come to Texas before the repave, and man, I got to tell you, sitting in the grandstands coming out of turn 3 and 4, that was just something. I mean,
it's one of the best views you can get. This is my home track, and I've spent many, many days here.
Awesome. Yeah, that was awesome.
Coming out of turn 4, sawing on the wheel. Oh, and Stan Carnathan. Speaking of sawing on the wheel through the grass.
That one hurt.
It's
yeah.
right there. This is a fast track. You can't have any, a place like Richmond last week, a little tap like that in the wall, you get a little aerodynamic damage, and it's not going to hurt you, but that is a death sentence. That's a fast repair.
Oh, yeah.
Already.
Yeah, that car's going to be handling quite a bit different, I'm afraid. That was a pretty decent lick here.
And you may not necessarily come into pit road and take that fast repair now, but I guarantee you that, we have a yellow. He may come down and look at the damage, but I think you're going to see him take that fast repair. It's just, you never really get the car back right without doing so.
Right. Yeah, and we already see the 06 of Tyler Burden going around him there, so that contact certainly had an effect. It looks like we see Waylon Turner in the number 1 car diving underneath the 81 of John Osborne, trying to take over that 6th spot here, and he does. He does. So we're going to be doing 150 laps here, which is 225 miles. One thing that we talked about a little bit pre-race with the guy leading this thing right now is tires, tires, tires. Tire management is going to be key here. What we're running today, it was before the repave, a very old and abrasive concrete racetrack.
Very old, very abrasive, and something that we have now is these corners nowadays with the actual Texas Motor Speedway are not symmetrical. We've got the same 24 degrees of banking at both ends, turn 1 and 2, and also over in turn 3 and 4. They've come through and they've wiped out turns 1 and 2, but also taken a lot of the banking away.
Yes.
With doing that, you really have to compromise a lot on the setup. These guys, although it is a baseline setup, it's going to feel a lot more comfortable because what you run into is you're always trying to get the car to make it through that flat turn 1 and 2. You really got to make it to where it's almost too free in a really high bank turn 3 and 4. And so I think that, this is, I don't want to say easier because by no means is this an easy track to get around, but it's a lot more straightforward that both ends match and you're not having to compromise your driving characteristics at either end of the track.
Oh, sure, sure. And as we're talking racetrack here, we see the 15 of Brad Rivers come and overtake the 94. So new leader here in that number 15 as we are just crossing the line for lap 10. But, man, you nailed it right on the head there. And I'll tell you what, man, spending a lot of time as a NASCAR fan and, coming to this track, like we said, this turn 1 is nothing like the old turn 1. It is, when I first got on here after the repave, I was like, I just sent it and I hit the wall. I'm like, holy crap, okay.
It's a different story now.
This is not the old Texas. Almost feels like you got to park it and then you turn a little bit. Yeah.
That's exactly what you do. And then you get over to turn 3 and 4 and you're just sawing on the wheel the whole way through the corner because the car is so free at that end of the track.
Yeah. So we see, we still keeping our eye on that 82. Stan definitely took a good lick there and he has dropped back 6 positions after that contact with the wall, but a great side-by-side battle here all the way from about 9th place to about 15th. So this is...
see these guys all over this racetrack.
They are, man.
There's a ton of usable racetrack here. That's one of the things that, we saw it even when NASCAR used to run here before they tore the thing up. And really the only reason they tore it up was just for drainage issues, and then while they were there, they decided to do a controversial redesign. But,
right.
This place has all kinds of track to get across. It's a wide racetrack. From the overall overhead view, it probably looks a lot similar to the old Atlanta or to a Charlotte Motor Speedway, but it is so much wider than Charlotte Motor Speedway, and you really feel that when you're behind the wheel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. I love the legacy version of this track for sure. So it looks like right now, well, up 9 spots right now. Dylan Picklesheimer, I totally screwed that up, up 9 spots to the 16th position here. So good to see that number 12 machine back in the hunt here, as we do each and every week. These guys do reward people for the biggest mover of the race, so that's one way to
quit.
Yeah, it's one way to get bonus points, man. So hey, he's up 9 spots, so he's had I'd say had one hell of a first 14 laps here. He's on the move.
Something that I want to watch as this race, goes on. We're kind of getting our feet under us, 14 laps in, about a third of the way through a fuel run here. I want to watch the Texas Motor Speedway. This old layout is very notorious for the way the banking falls off turn 2 and turn 4. A lot of tracks you're kind of used to that banking carrying a little farther out on the straightaway, but it really just goes from banking to flat a little earlier than what you probably prefer as a driver, and it gives you a neat twist to have to work around. You can really put too much wheel into it trying to keep it down off the wall and have the thing snap loose. So we know from these next-gen cars and all the racing that we've seen and done in our own leagues and other sessions that once you start heating up these rear tires, they don't ever fix themselves.
Right.
You can cool them down a little bit, but the only way to fix the car at that point is to try to burn in the right front tire, and then you're just losing overall grip, but you're gaining a little bit of handling. So, I want to see some of these guys. We know Adam Boughton is good at it, but we've got Brad Rivers out here. Pulls away from Adam Boughton a good little bit. Are we going to see the typical Adam Boughton let him go and come back, or does Bradley have that speed to keep this thing going all the way through a full fuel run?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to find out. One of the guys that's not, he's not a newcomer to this league by any means, is that number 5 car of Kent Mueller. He's had one heck of a beginning to this race, and his pace right now is, his lap times are as good as any. He's basically mirroring these two guys up front here, so really good start to that number 5 machine. And again, tires are going to be key. And that there's so many things involved with that statement. Not overdriving corner entry, being minimal and consistent on your steering inputs, like all that stuff plays a role into it, and a lot of people on the outside perspective maybe be like, these guys are playing a video game. Well, I'll challenge any one of you to hop in one of these cars and tell us how easy it ain't, because this,
It's one of the things I love is when you got the guys that aren't into these kind of things come over to the house and fire up the sim rig. Let's go. Let's just go run an open practice session.
Yeah,
cars out there.
Absolutely.
See Adam Boughton making a move here.
Yes, he
Going to
is.
turn 3.
All right. Down
Answers
low.
that question.
It does.
Tortoise in the air.
That's right. So we're coming to lap 20 here, and I think we're looking at a fuel window that starts at around 40 to 45 would be my guess on the fuel strategy here. Pit window, I guess, not necessarily strategy, but we will certainly keep our eye on that.
And if I'm in there, I want to try to take this as a driver as far as I can. I always want to take this opening stint. For instance, you get a caution now, it's a no-brainer to me. I'm not going to take tires. I think you need to run this out as long as you can, because we know tires are going to be valuable, and you'd rather have that valuable, precious set of tires at the end of the race, even if it means suffering a little bit at the front end.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand that perspective, man. And yeah, you're dead on. Tires at a place like this are certainly going to matter in the last half of this race, especially the last quarter of this race. You get a late race caution and you got to set in the bank. You're going to be sitting pretty nice. We see a side-by-side battle back here. Where was that? Kyle Diaz, I think it was, just past Michael York for the 15th position. And like we said, Dylan in that number 12 car, man, he's moving. He is moving to the front. He's passed a lot of cars, and that
He's
12
got
cars,
it rolling.
he
We're
does.
deep into this run right now. This is not just short run, blow off the tire speed. We're 22 laps into this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And as always, we can't forget it each and every week. And I'm sorry we missed you last week, 43 fans. Leroy is in the house. That's right, the Angry Orchard number 43, getting the TV
That
time.
car, speaking of angry, look at the nose on that
He got
thing.
some
He's
damage,
been
doesn't
in
he?
the back of somebody.
He sure has. Oh, that'd make me angry too, so I get it.
He might have been storming through something, almost like Leroy stormed into the Lobby on that famous video.
Jeff Noe in the 55, and last week's winner, Travis Gilbert, in the 41 machine. He's hanging out right inside the top 20 here. He's been really fast since he joined this league, and this, we'll see how it goes. Maybe this is just not his track, or maybe he's playing a little cat and mouse. Maybe he's just thinking strictly what you talked about there, Kevin, is tires. I'm going to save my tires at all costs, and right now, I don't need to be in the top 10. I need my Goodyears to be healthy.
It's a very big thing. We're getting through this, and tire saving doesn't start right here on lap 24. Tire saving starts out as soon as you fire off on a green flag. It's lap 1. You can do the most damage, or you can do the most saving the first about 10 laps on a set of tires. A lot of those same things will carry through the whole run. Those same characteristics, not on the wheel, very gentle with your inputs, but you really got to be especially careful at the start of the run. That's when you can do a lot of damage to your tires.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. The one thing is, certainly, by any stretch of the imagination, this league is not about us up here in the booth. It's about these awesome drivers. But, you and I race a lot together on Tuesdays, and we see a lot of different driving styles. And the one thing that has really come to play for me in particular with this new car, I think more than ever, is finding my way into kind of like that Jeff Burton or Mark Martin kind of race. I don't need to go anywhere real fast for the first 10 laps. I want these tires to be healthy. I don't want them screaming at me at lap 12. And,
exactly.
It's really been a benefit to me to have that mindset in these new cars because, like you said, these things handle great until they don't. And, buddy, these things will snap around on a dime, and your day is over. So,
yeah, we've got that short sidewall. Part of these cars is going from the old 15-inch wheel to now an 18-inch rim that these tires sit on. And less sidewall, it's less flex. And what that means is when you get in the corner, there's less ability for the car to step out. There's less flex in that sidewall. And so once it starts to move, it quickly gets into a point where it can't handle the yaw mechanically and also aerodynamically. They've squared these cars up to where the left side is identical to the right side. The old generation of cars, engineers had come through and designed those things specifically for the tracks they were on. Every bit of downforce and side force was created specifically for each track. And you'd see on an oval like this, that right side would be laid out like a billboard, and you'd be looking like you had a dually fender on the left side.
Absolutely.
These cars, they're the same, left to right. And so with that, you lose that aerodynamic, that yaw you kind of running in. And it's different, man. It's different. You almost have to forget what you know about driving a stock car when you get into these because
you're not
really
lying.
A stock car.
Yep. Yeah, you're definitely not lying. We do see the 43 going around Jeff Noe. He's up to 14th position right now. Good battle back here, side by side for the 15th position between the 55 of Jeff Noe, the 12 of Dylan Picklesheimer, and the number 10 of Aaron Miller. They're all back here behaving themselves for now, so I think looks like these guys are going to leave Richmond in Richmond for the time being.
For now, it's early on, though.
Oh, yeah, it sure is.
You never know. All it takes is somebody having a pit road miscue or something like that. You start having a bad day, and all of a sudden, us race car drivers start remembering that bad thing that happened from 3 weeks ago real quick.
You're not lying there. You are not lying. We tend not to forget.
No, and like I say, it'll come out as soon as something happens that impedes your race. That's when you start remembering. Who do I owe?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And the one thing too that you had said earlier on, Kevin, was talking about that 15. He's shown some pretty good speed this year, not necessarily running up front, leading the 94 car. And you kind of question, how's he going to be late in a run? We're at lap 32, and he's still holding on to that second position. So, and he's
done well. He's got Kent Mueller looking, though. Kent's there, and I think he's just kind of playing it smart here because I do think the 5 car is faster, and I think if he got around him, I don't know that he'd catch the 94, but I think we'd see Kent Mueller pull away.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Just showing a lot of patience right now as we are coming to 34, and I think our fuel window is going to be opening up in just, yeah, you know, between 5 to 10 laps from now. Still got a lot of racing to go, so right now patience is in place.
Kind of fitting, you know. We got 2 of the kind of the OGs, 2 of the now owners of the league, Adam Boughton and Kent Mueller. You know, this is the Johnny B 150. It's named after the original founder of this ECR league, and so you got to think that there's a little extra motivation there. May have had a little tap in the wall there. But you got to think there's a little motivation for some of these, you know, original members of this league that have been around this league forever to win the race. It's named after the guy that founded it all and got it started. And the reason that it's named after him at this track, this is his home track. So there's a lot of tie-ins there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's from the sounds of it, it didn't seem like there was any issues or bad blood there. He just simply didn't make the transformation over from Xbox to iRacing like the rest of these guys did. So, you know, it's pretty cool that they remember that. You know, I know that, you know, again, we talk about it all the time. You and I run in the league together, and it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of organizing, whether people on the outside realize it or not, to keep these things together. And, you know, so props to Adam and these guys for, you know, paying homage to the guy that actually opened the door for them to be here tonight.
This is a good little battle right here.
It is.
Ryan McCall, Kent Mueller, and Brad Rivers.
Really good battle.
Swapping positions around. And I almost think that, first of all, I'm a little surprised Rivers is hanging on as close as he is, but I almost think that, you know, him and Mueller kind of got to battling, and Ryan McCall just said, "Thank you guys very much."
Yeah.
Stepped on through that door they opened up.
Yeah, he didn't waste any time.
And these guys staying side by side is not, even though you see that big gap between those cars, it's not an optimal line for the corner to be outside of, for Kent Mueller to be all the way out as wide as he is. And it's also not optimal for the 15 coming off the corner that you can't really open up the wheel the way you want. So
no,
you're slowing each other down.
Oh,
you see a little bobble there.
Yeah, and I mean, look what it did. You know, I
Mueller
mean,
got really loose there off the corner.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He just about tagged the outside wall, but
that was a good save.
Those guys running side by side like that, you know, the 13, the 181, and the 06, they're right back there in that picture. You know, that probably wouldn't have happened so quick if they just stayed nose to tail.
Look at that momentum that he lost. Just that little bit of, and even though you're letting off at the corner, it's still, you know, you just fall out of that rhythm,
and he lost 5 or 6 spots.
Lose a little confidence too. You know, when you have a big bobble like that, you need to make sure the car is backed under you and kind of give that rear tire a chance to cool back down. What we see on the next gen car, you know, I want to say right rear, but it's really honestly more the left rear that gets upset when you have a bobble like that.
Yeah, it's weird how that worked. You know, we do a lot of team testing and stuff, and it's just like, man, like the left rear, for whatever reason, only God knows why, is hotter and more worn out than the right rear, and we're still trying to figure that one out.
I mean, it's just this car is designed, you know, all 4 corners, independent rear suspension is what lays the foundation for it all, but it is goes against every grain of thinking that you have on a traditional stock car setup.
It absolutely does, and we're seeing right now the number 13 of Dwayne Furtick up to 3rd position in that Best Buy machine. So
we're starting to see a couple guys hit pit road early. I don't know if they're going. I think they're just going for the undercut. Tay McDonald said he's coming in, and I heard Leroy Copeland was in the last time around.
Leroy came in. It looks like Aaron Miller. I mean, it's lap 40, 41. Lap 41.
You know, you can't go. If you figure the race does go green, there's Stan Carnathan losing a lap already. Man, that leak into the wall is just ruined his night. I think I'd almost short fit this just to get that damage fixed. You know,
that sucks.
When you look at 45, you can go about this 2 ways. You can try like hell to stretch the fuel, which we know there's guys in this league that aren't scared to do that. It's going to be hard to make up 5 laps around this track as wide open as it is, but The other option is, do you just short pit and you know, rather than trying to go all the way out to 45, that puts you at 90 and then 135 with a short 15 lap run at the end. If the thing goes green, maybe you run it, you know, 40, 80, 120 with a 30 lap run at the end. You're still kind of divvying it up with the same sets of tires, same number of stops, but you know, you can kind of maximize the life of those tires a little bit easier, I guess. You know, you're not going the extra 5 laps with these old worn out tires each stint.
Yeah.
That's all assuming it goes green. So
right.
as soon as I start talking about it, you know, that's when we're due for a caution.
Yeah. Travis Gilbert, number 41, last week's winner on pit road. Oh, man, yeah, I feel bad for Stan. He had a really good hot rod there. That contact just killed him, and
He must have got some of my luck, because that's just a bad break. You know, it's bad enough to tag the wall, but then the thing goes green for over a whole fuel run here.
yeah.
It's just, it's almost, it gets really hard to recover at that point. It's not game over yet. He's still in the lucky dog spot. Well, up till we just lapped Robert Bode.
Boy, oh boy, I saw that coming.
Oh wow.
Oh, Gary, careful. Looks like that one got caught up behind the 82 there.
Man, that was a huge moment.
Jeez.
That seeing those cars drive off into turn 1 3 wide like that reminded me of Mike Skinner back here driving that 21 RCR car.
Nice.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Man, yeah, that
There's
could have
Whalen
been big.
coming in this time around. He had enough of that.
I don't blame him.
Oh wow. Trying hard to speed there. That Domino's car, he's not scared to roll the dice. You know, we saw him come in.
Yeah.
He got 11 cents out of that.
Yes, he did. All right. Well, we've got some of the leaders on pit road here. Lap 46 of 150 in the books. Now, we're going to have to keep our eye on Adam. He should be coming into pit road anytime. Would have to imagine within this next lap or two.
I feel like when you're as dominant as he is, there he is, just heard over the radio, he's coming in this time. You can't, you can't stay out too long. You know, it's really easy to just give up time. So
Oh man,
don't let these guys undercut you and start throwing down some haymaker lap times. Just come on in and let's get some new tires here.
Yep.
I mean, we've fallen off 2 full seconds off our early lap times.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. At least. All
the
right.
last lap that Adam Boughton, and we know that he is one of the best in this league at saving his tires and just kind of running the short race. Qualified with a 29.63, which is, the same setup, same car. His last lap before he pitted was a 31.69, over
Nice.
2 seconds of fall off.
All right, so the 81 of John Osborne hitting pit road, and he stayed out to lead a lap, so that's going to be a bonus point for that 81. Good heads-up move by that team. Things are going to cycle around here. Christopher Roth, right now showing him up 23 spots while these guys all pit.
He's going to be, let's see if he stays out here to lead a lap.
He just might. What you don't want to do is run out of fuel.
No, and you don't want to hit the wall either. See what he does here. Moment of truth, he's coming in.
All right.
He may still have a big enough gap here to actually lead the lap.
Yeah, maybe so.
We see where the start-finish line, start-finish line comes all the way across the track here. His pit box is actually going to be too far back. So never mind, I thought.
A little bit short. Roman, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate the comment. Thank you for checking out the Elite Cup Racing League, my friend. Well, as things cycled through here, that's going to put things back in the hands of the 94. And we'll get you an update on intervals here. It looks like it's going to be about a 1.7 is what I'm showing currently between him and Leroy. So you know, we know that Leroy came in a few laps before a lot of the other guys, so hey man, we saw it work more than one time, you know. Get in that track position, then you just got to maintain your equipment. He could pull off one heck of a run here tonight. Maintain them good years.
Did the old Angry Orchard fix that angry nose on his hot rod?
Yeah, still a little mad.
Yeah. I can't believe that thing's performing as well as it is. I mean, we saw that it was not a huge lick in the wall that Stan Carnathan took, and it straight ruined his night. That's impressive what he's done here with that car.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, it didn't look like Stan hit too awful hard, and he dropped like a rock. So, I don't know. The front end of that 43 certainly caved in, but hey, he's running. As long as he don't overheat, he got a chance at a good run here at Texas.
Well, and you know, that's another thing that we really haven't talked about. But these cars don't run tape on the grill.
Right.
It's always been a thing with NASCAR and stock cars in general. You know, you tape up the grill, and especially a track like this, you know, give yourself a little extra downforce. It's kind of free downforce because it hurts. It helps both straight line speed and it helps plant the nose more in the corner. You know, a lot of things that add downforce in the corner hurt you down the straightaway. So tape's a big tuning element for racers, and NASCAR took it away from us this car. They said no more of that stuff. Everybody's going to run it wide open, so
that's right.
It's probably helping him right now.
Yeah, they did, and as we're talking there, the 90 and the 06 go by, so those fresher tires are definitely putting on a little bit better lap time.
This is where, you know, what you're hoping for with the undercut is not necessarily to jump all those spots and stand in front of those spots. You're hoping you can jump some of those spots, things kind of settle into place. It is a little harder to do the undercut at a place like Texas because it's so easy to pass because the track is so wide open. But in a place like Richmond, for instance, it's really hard to pass there. You can pin somebody down on the inside and they can't ever complete the pass. You can really, you know, some of these tracks, you can do the right thing and where you put your car. I think Leroy's still going to come out as a net positive, but it's a lot harder to do at Texas. But, you know, that's all you're trying to do is just, you want to be at lap 45 into this run, you want to be ahead of where you were at lap 45 in the last.
Absolutely. One thing that I'm kind of looking at right now at our scoring monitor is Kent Mueller, and he's dropped a lot of spots. He was running up there in the top 3, and we saw him just get freight trained back there at the end of that last pit fuel run there, and man, he's still, I mean, he's holding on to a top 10. There ain't nothing wrong with that, but he had top 2 or 3 speed. And the car just does not appear to be acting the same as it was at the beginning of this race.
No, but you know, I also think he's one of the veterans of this league. I think he's really good at it. He's not going to push too hard to get in front of these guys, you know. And some of these guys, you got to keep in mind, the short pit is kind of a, you know, it's going to help you the front of this run. But as the run goes on, that advantage kind of goes away. Swings back the other way towards the guys that pitted later. So let's see how this run plays out longer term. You know, you're still kind of, even though the pit cycle's done, you're still kind of in the middle of the pit cycle in a way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, we just see the one of Waylon Turner go around Travis. Travis is up 10 spots, man. When we talked to him earlier, he was holding on to just right inside that top 20 at 19th position. Now, after this pit cycle, he's up to 12th spot. But again, you know, contact.
There's what we were talking about earlier, that the way that the banking just falls away. He was trying to pinch it down. Wasn't giving him a lot of space there. But, you know, sometimes what you got to do to make the pass. But what a save there by Osborne.
Man, that was a heck of a save by both of those guys.
That you can see him sawing on the wheel on that one. That was a couple handfuls.
Sheesh. Jacob Dorman, the number 31 machine, up 5 spots. He is right now running 15th position. And Kane Lee, number 45, running in the top 20 as well. Looks like, what do we got here? A T-Mobile car, maybe? Yeah, T-Mobile, number 45. In the 16th spot, so hanging out, man.
This week.
Yeah, they're hanging out. And one thing I did notice, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Doug might have been the new guy that hopped in Discord. It looks like the number 40 might be a new guy here in ECRL. I saw saw somebody hop in earlier today, so always good to see the league continue to grow. And hey, you know what? He's kept his nose clean and he's holding on to a top 20 spot right now. So welcome here.
And it's, you know, you can't talk about the skill difference between going from Xfinity to Cup, but it is a lot of the same thing. You know, when you're the new guy to a league, you never want to be the guy that shows up that's kind of making headlines. You want to be the guy that's out there logging laps, earning the respect of your competitors. You know, it's very easy to be the guy that shows up that a lot of people dislike in a hurry. And if you start getting a group of guys that's as tight-knit as some of these guys are in this league to dislike you, it's not going to go well for you in your career within the league. So,
right,
you know, being the new guy, he's kind of running the smart race here. He's just showing up. He's putting together a solid performance. You know, still a lead lap, but not. We haven't been talking about it, and that's what you want your first night out.
Absolutely right, man. That's exactly right. Want to be talked about, but not too much right off the rip.
Unless you're out there dominating, you don't need to be part of the story.
Absolutely right. Well, guys, we're headed to lap 64 here. We are going to take one quick commercial break. We'll be right back with you for some more live action here at Texas, and we were going to get this thing back in just a minute. All right, welcome back live to Texas here, and thank you for Blake Howell Designs for hopping on here and being a broadcast partner of the 213 Network. It's BHR_Sim Racing. Dude does some awesome work. If you need any iRacing paints done, go there and check them out and get your quote today. Now doing the 3D renders, and man, are those cool. You look at some of this. Oh, you look at some of this stuff. It's like you're looking at a damn NASCAR garage, man. You can hardly tell the difference.
And so many of us that have our special paint schemes that we run. I know I've got mine that I run on Tuesdays, and you know it's a special Zabmoto paint scheme, and you know we've all got something that we kind of take pride in. Take pride in it, just like you take pride in your own car that's sitting out in the garage. And
yeah, buddy.
It's nice to get some good pictures of it.
It really is. And what else is nice right now is the looks of that number 13 of Dwayne Furtick. Up to the second spot,
just thinking
man.
about him. You read my mind. I wanted to give a shout out to two people when we came back from break. Dwayne Furtick has come from seemingly nowhere to now be second place in this thing. Waylon Turner's putting together a really solid run back there, 10th place. That after that big moment we saw, for him to be up in the top 10 right now, it just moved his way up to 9. That is incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
He should have been backwards in the wall, honestly, from the way that thing started.
Yep, absolutely right, man.
We didn't have a caution. All those guys gathered it up. That's a lot of heads-up driving, and you can see him. He's reaping the benefits right now.
Yes, he is. All right, well, Leroy's still hobbling along there, guys. Front end ain't looking too great, but I know the chat's full of Leroy fans each and every week, so we'll keep you posted. And no, it wasn't a Bud Light commercial.
Man, I wonder if he hit a Bud Light can. That's what punched the nose out.
Yeah, he very well might have. Who was it? What was it?
You
Jeff
start
Gordon
going. You start going about 200 mile an hour. Yeah.
Was that Gordon that they started throwing all the beer cans at him or something?
Yeah, Talladega. He won it at
Junior Nation.
Pepsi machine was
Yeah.
covered. I mean, it had. They took pictures that looked like it sat through a damn Oklahoma hailstorm.
Oh, that's too funny. Let's take a look back here and see what Tay's doing. The 73 at Tay McDonald running in the 12th spot right now, side by side for Jeff No. Got a good battle here. Gonna see, I don't know, man. That low line seems pretty dominant for the most part, huh?
To me, that's the place to be. I think you start running too high, there might be some short-term speed. There's definitely room to pass. My rule is always go where they're not on the short run, especially, but I think it's harder on the right front to be out there long term. I'm really big on, and a lot of that is number one track, number two iRacing, the way the model is set up. I think that being down there in that kind of white line, painting the line is really, to me, most places you go, that's where you're going to find the least tire wear as the run goes on.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Plus,
100%, man.
If as we see a couple cars here in line, look at you see that he's just about the width of a headlight or so, about a foot or so off the bottom line. If you're following, you should be able to run that line and get that much more clean air coming onto the nose of your car. That's going to help with tire wear. It's also going to help with speed as the run goes on. So.
Oh, heck yeah, man. And you see right now, just the 45 got just a little bit enough, to get that fresh, that clean air on the front of that car. And look at it right now. It is going to prevail.
It lets you turn. It's like,
yep.
It's you feel the difference of how much you can and can't turn the wheel. The other thing, too, when you're running on that white line, and this is kind of a trick I learned, I run Indy cars on here from time to time. Redacted cars, sorry, you're not allowed to say it on the broadcast. Way to go, Penske Entertainment Group, but signing to deal with a dud video company. But
right.
Anyway, so you run those cars, those Openville cars, running oval, and they're extremely aero dependent. And so if you can run on the white line, the guy behind you can't duck his nose just a little bit below you because there's an apron down there. So
right.
His only other choice is to try to run higher than you to get that clean air, which means he's running a bigger radius around the corner, and it's harder on the right front tire. So you're putting your opponent at a disadvantage by running the white line.
Yeah, 100%. And the guys in the chat, I did change that to the intervals. Normally I do. I don't know why it was showing the lap times, but that's not normally the way that it's loaded here. So I appreciate the heads up, and I'm going to actually go ahead and save that project so I don't screw that up next time. Well, no guarantees. I'll probably screw something up.
Hey.
I didn't even notice until they said it in the chat.
I didn't either.
Like,
I sat there and I noticed that comment, and I thought, hey, we need to.
Yeah, it usually is intervals, but I don't know what the heck. But who we haven't talked a whole lot about today so far has been Alan Holtzman in the 24. The 24 with the DeWalt scheme and the Toyota. Man, is this guy confused? No, I'm just kidding. Great looking race car he's holding on right now.
Finally trying to that Tony Stewart paint scheme.
Trying to get himself into the top 12. Oh, that got a little tight there.
That was starting to get tight there.
Hell yeah.
Yet again, you see the way the banking falls off there. It just wants that car to push out as the tires get older like this.
Absolutely.
And I got to give a shout out to that paint scheme. That's the old Christopher Bell right down the road from me in Norman, Oklahoma. I thought as a kid growing up, I like everybody else that's on this simulator, I wanted to be a race car driver. But there's no way in hell anybody from Oklahoma could ever make it to the big leagues. It's just,
man.
There's no racing around here. And what do we see? Guy a couple years younger than me is one of the best drivers in the Cup Series now.
Definitely one hell of a talent right there. That is for sure. Tell you what, Aaron Miller's not having the day that he wanted, man. He was running up front. Well, I mean, he was running around the 10th to 12th spot.
He was up there, yeah.
And now he's back to 20th. I didn't see any contact, but man, he's just not having the run he wanted right now. Well, maybe he's got time to fix her up. And the same with Travis, you know. This guy has just been lightning fast since he joined the Elite Cup Racing League. And this is just not, this is not the characteristics that we normally see from the 41 every week. So, gonna keep an eye on that. But right now, what we are gonna look at is that number 90 machine right now. Rapid fired pizza. Fired.
There it is.
Yeah, he rapidly fired right past that number 13 up to the second position right now. So, Ryan McCall looking pretty good.
Every time I see that car, you know, I get a little hungry. I don't know why you got to do that to me. I'm a pizza fanatic that's trying to go on a diet here. We're going to flash that thing in front of me every Saturday night.
Yep. We got a couple of them. We got Rapid Fired and we got Domino's. I think it was Domino's, wasn't it?
Yeah, on the 26 car. Kyle Diaz has those Domino's dice out there on the hood.
There it is. There's old Kyle. Number 26 Domino's.
That's a friend right there. That's a friend. You know, you bring up that, you know, you're on a diet. What do you do? Start scrolling through all the pizza cars.
Yeah. My bad. The number 81 of John Osborne going on the low side right in front of Brad Rivers in the 15 Rays Energy Camaro. I don't know why that did that. That was weird. All right. Peter's got a mind of its own, but yeah, we see that low line being prevalent, man.
And he's really trying to duck out and get that clean air. But you see what happens there. They kind of cross paths. John Osborne came down a little bit, kind of made a late apex on the corner. And when he did, you saw the 15 start heading rapidly out towards that outside wall on the exit of turn 2. See it a little bit there again in 3 and 4. If I'm the 15, I think you gotta do something a little different here, because you can just see how it's hurting the right front tire.
Oh yeah,
through the screen here.
Absolutely correct. Out front, Adam Boughton with a 4.3 second lead over Ryan McCall right now. It's a pretty solid lead, but man, you got to give a lot of credit to that number 90 machine. I mean, heck, these top 3 or 4 guys, and it ain't no easy thing to keep pace with that 94 right now.
No, and I'm just thinking out loud here. You can't limit each driver, but in the iRacing session settings, when you create the whole session for the league to have this race, you can limit a certain make of car to have, say, 5% less horsepower. So maybe what Adam Boughton needs to do is just make himself the only guy to drive. And we can, whatever OEM you want, but he's going to be the only guy
that goes down 5%.
We're going to do it like sports car racing. You're going to have a reward penalty.
Oh, that's too funny. Great side-by-side battle here for the second position between Ryan McCall and Dwayne.
Running each other tight through the corner there. That's impressive when you're holding right on his door there on these old tires, because these cars are, they look smooth from what we're seeing out here on these TV views, but they are not just smoothly turning in on the steering wheel. These are making all kinds of minor corrections as they're going through the corner.
Yeah, big moment there from Michael York. Went off the track there. He's bringing it to pit road. Fortunately, kept her going in the forward direction. No caution, but certainly a big moment there for Michael. And we're going to start seeing people hitting pit road here as we are coming to lap 88 next time by.
I'm surprised we haven't had anybody come in already. I would think that you kind of, as I alluded to earlier, you do that, 45 to 90 to 135 leaves you a 15 lap run at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you really get away with taking 2 tires. So to me, you got to take 4 anyway. So if you can stretch that the other way, now maybe you could short pit one of these, maybe you do 45 and then again, I would think you'd come in a little earlier here, but
I would certainly try it.
I like to think of it. I like to do, Larry McReynolds tells us every Sunday, you follow the leader, you're just going to follow the leader. So
absolutely. It looks like the 12 of Dylan Picklesheimer has been in pit road. And from the looks of the 41, he just flew past the leader. I'd have to say the 41 has been on pit road as well, because he just smoked at him on that last lap.
You don't see that very often. Yeah.
Freshy's
He's
coming
working his
through.
way back through with some fresh tires. 2 laps down. I just saw the score. He just moved himself down to 1. So
Yeah, absolutely.
he's been in and out of the pit lane.
13 of Dwayne is coming down right now.
There comes Brad Rivers in this time too.
Yeah, awesome run for that team, man. It's been running really good these last few races here. Kind of bummed we missed last week, man. And you know how it is. I mean, heck, being from, you know, the part of the country where you're at, you guys have pretty crazy weather too, and it just
Well, we do.
sucks. You know, I love being here every week, and from the sounds of it, we missed one heck of a show.
I opened up my Discord and saw a picture of a big old tree, and before I even read the caption, I went, "Well, that's suboptimal."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it sucked too. I mean, luckily the whole tree didn't go. It was almost like lightning hit it and just split the sucker in half, but right across the power lines, and there's not a whole lot you can do about that. But grab a book and
Man, and we missed all the drama.
yeah, we
And
did.
like I've always said, iRacing needs the only thing it's missing. It's very realistic. It's got everything you could ever want, but we need a boxing simulator at the end of this thing.
Now that I'm all for. That's too funny. So we're going to be expecting the 94 to come to pit road at any moment. And again, you're really right on this pit cycle, man. I kind of feel like, you know, if you're maybe fifth on back, I mean, at this point, what do you have to lose? Try to undercut that leader a little bit, you know?
We race together on every Tuesday night. You know how I do it. I'm going to do something different than, you know, I don't have the speed. I'm going to do something different.
Yep.
Oh, I think I just saw somebody stop
looks like
there
Jacob
on the screen.
Torman. What happened here?
He might be well enough off the track where this is not going to trigger a caution.
I saw something here.
I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. I was looking over the timing screen and looked back over and I saw a car not where they're supposed to be.
Well, it's not going to throw a caution, but what we do have the ability to do is to rewind this a little bit.
That was about like Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain there, that closing speed.
See what happened here. Was it a product of new tires behind him, maybe? I'm not sure what happened. Oh, he just lost it. Oh, yeah.
This is what we talk about, trying to pinch the car down as that bank falls away.
Oh.
Problem is, you've got that wheel all loaded up and all that force into those tires, and you see him kiss the wall right at the end.
Boy,
he did almost a great save.
Yeah, he did a hell of a job. That could have been a lot worse, though, in the grand scheme of things.
And then thankfully, no cars coming along right as that little blip up on the apron. It's so hard. Those tires are so hot. These cars make a pretty decent amount of horsepower. You try to get going from a stop like that, these old tires don't like it. That's what happens though when that bank falls away. You've got your hand in the wheel and you're really trying to make it go around these corners. You know, essentially doing a 180-degree turn. All of a sudden, the banking falls away very rapidly off turn 2, and all that wheel that you got in the car of these old tires, it just doesn't stick. It's just the grip is gone from that car being pushed down into the apron, and now all of a sudden being pushed out. There's our leader, Adam Bowden, coming in.
Yeah, and as we just saw in that shot right there, it does look like the 43 used his faster pair. That nose looks a lot better, but he has certainly lost all of his track position in the meantime. So we're going to have to take a look at that and see how he can finish this thing off here. And you're right, number 94 on pit road as we are coming to the line of lap 96.
He's working on getting him another lap ahead here. And I think he's going to be in. Yeah, he's
coming in. Looks like the 5's coming in as well.
Such a challenge. We have not really emphasized that, but such a challenge coming in off of that banking. Get that transition where it goes from banking to apron. You know, some tracks like Talladega have a little intermediary where, you know, it goes from the 33 down to the, 12 or so degrees and then down to the flat. This track is just straight from the 24-degree high banks down to flat, 0-degree, flat earther.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, a lot of mistakes can happen on and off. That is for
Especially,
sure.
again, these old tires. You know, you're not doing it. It's easy to do on new tires.
Right.
Car gets a little upset. You're coming in on these old tires though. Car gets a little upset, and all of a sudden, you're spinning through the infield grass.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna have to see how things cycle through right now. So it looks to me now we can actually pull this up here. We look at our pit strategy window.
Did Adam Bowden drop back? It looks like I want to see this whole thing cycle through, but
I was thinking the same thing because Dwayne has 9 laps on his tires right now. Adam has lost
dropped
4.
5 seconds, and he was 5.5 seconds now, but he was roughly 4.5 seconds. I mean, that's a 10-second swing.
Yeah, something weird happened there. Definitely going to keep our eye on it. I mean, he's got 48 laps on that stint, as to where Furtick ran 42 laps. So it's about a 10-lap differential on, you know, approximately on tires. But
part of this here, I know.
Keep our eye on it.
In 10 laps, you figure 10 laps, they're roughly 2 seconds off the pace, and that's a 20-second delta there. So, you know, very well could be.
Definitely interesting. One thing that we do have the luxury to do here is pull up our track map, and we can kind of keep an eye on the distance between, you see the 13 highlighted there as your leader. The 94 of Adam Bowden certainly lost some. There's no way he got caught speeding on pit road. That'd be a lot more time than that.
No, he'd be sitting there much longer than that. I think that's just the case of the short pit window for Dwayne Furtick. That just
you could be right.
It's just a matter of that delta. I mean, and we see Adam Bowden, he's closing around almost 9/10 of a second that last time around. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think this is just a case of he's short pitted.
All right.
Again, we talk about, you know, the net result of this. You get a caution right now. Well, he's the leader. That's great. But if the thing runs green, he probably falls back to second or third. He's about where he was.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we talked about. You're doing something different than what the leader's doing.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, man, you gotta try something. Gotta try something. So right now we're coming to 103 of 150. This race is winding down really quick, as it does each and every week. And you got to give it up, man. You know, follow the leader. You're following the leader. These guys are trying something different to stay out in front of that 94 machine. But you're right, man. He is coming in a hurry. 29.8 versus a 30.09. Oh, 29.9 versus a 30.3 was the last lap. I'm sorry.
Adam Bowden, I mean, he's basically, there he is around Tyler Burton. 2 seconds. I mean, he's closed that gap down in a hurry.
Oh, he sure has. Yeah, when I looked at the scoring, I was like, man, what in the world just happened? But I think...
and they're receiving the whole dilemma with the short pit. And that's how powerful it can be. I mean, you know, think about if we're at, 5 laps to go right now.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a very real shot to win this. So,
heck yeah.
You know, you never give up.
Nope. That is for sure. But no, he's definitely closing. His lap times are way faster than the leader right now.
Well, and just as you say that, though, they are way faster still, but he only closed a little over 0.2 of a second that last time. I mean, that was not a big 1 second chunk out of that lead last time around. So he's still faster, still significantly faster, but it's not nearly what it was when he first came off the pit lane.
Yeah, no, definitely. But, you know, the other thing, too, is like, you know, we've mentioned a few times, Adam's smart enough to know, hey, I've still got 40 laps to go in this thing. You know, I'm not going to burn the hell out of my tires just yet. I know I'm faster than the leader. I've got to have something to work with come the last, 10 laps of this thing or whatever. So I'm sure patience, as much as you don't want to be, is probably playing a little bit of role in there, because that's certainly the racecraft here in the 94.
And if there was a land called patience, Adam Bowden would be the undisputed king.
Yeah.
There's our angry orchard car.
Yeah, looks
Leroy Oblitz.
Looks like he got it fixed up pretty good, but he certainly lost all his track position, unfortunately. Kind of getting freight trained right now.
You got to stay in it because you never know what's going to happen. You know, you get a yellow and you have a wreck on one of these restarts. You could very easily have some of these guys drop out of this race. So you got to stick with it. But that is rough. He's riding around 3 laps down right now.
Yeah, that's.
You know, you're trying to stay out of the way, but it's not fun as a driver.
No.
But that's, you know, you don't want to just quit either. I mean, that doesn't get you anywhere.
No, it definitely doesn't. Had a good run going. I almost kind of wonder too, like we weren't in the car, but you know, did he actually start to get hot? That is a real thing. That nose caved in, you know. Well, let's take a ride with Adam right now. He's closing in on the leader here of the 13. Let's take a lap or two around. You guys get a feel for what these guys are seeing out there from windshield as you're hunting down the lead here at Texas.
See, not a lot of RPM drop there. Now we're down the front stretch here, coming through this double dog leg. Right there off to the right is where I sat last time I was here at the track. Going to turn 1, here's this massive 24 degrees of banking. You see him getting down there right to that white line. Trying to keep some clean air on that nose. There's the way that banking falls away. Same thing as you dive it off into 3. That banking is all of a sudden there, and your car kind of lands into the corner.
Oh yeah, things tightened up with the car outside there.
See that car trying to almost want to change directions there for a minute.
It sure did.
Let's watch this again, you know, coming through this 1 and 2. You can't emphasize enough how much of a challenge the exit of these corners are. You see the car just wants to keep going wide in that dirty air.
They definitely push when you're behind somebody, that's for sure. But I'll tell you what, he's there. And again, you know, we know Adam's going to show patience, but he is most definitely there. The car's rolling the center pretty good.
Now, if you're playing 13, you know, you got the guy in the mirror. You're just trying to hit your marks. You're trying to hit your marks, and you really, you know, you want to block the air from him. And I don't mean block as in a, you know, Joey Logano throwing haymaker blocks across the track to the inside wall. You just want to take his air away.
Yeah.
You know, that in itself makes this a challenge. And he's probably still going to get you, but if you can hold him up, if this race goes green, if you can hold him up a little bit, that's going to slow the net gap and allow that to decrease. And you see Adam Bowden, though, he's just gone. But
yeah,
that's part of what you're trying to do is you want to hold that guy. You want to make that pass as difficult as possible. You know he's still going to get around you, but if you can limit how far in front of you he's able to pull away, it's going to pay dividends later on. May even give you a chance to win the race.
absolutely, man. Hey, the 13 did a great job. There's nothing more you can do. That 94 is on rails right now. So we're coming to 115 of 150. Good side-by-side battle here for 3rd and 4th. It's like these guys have been pretty much nose to tail the entire race. Ryan and Tyler having a really good run here at the Legacy Texas Motor Speedway.
Oh, wow. They both shifted in there deep in the third three.
Yeah, they did.
See him trying to make a run there towards the bottom as they came off the exit, but man, neither one of these guys give it an inch right now. Well, Picklesheimer's going to be in this time. So it's going to be the first of our potentially last stop.
Yeah, and hey, you know, can't blame him. Undercut these guys, short pit, try something different. And why not? At this point, you got nothing to lose. You know, I was almost just kind of thinking that same thing right now. Maybe another 5 to 10 laps for that 15. Why not try something a little bit different? He's got good speed right now. He just lost a little bit of that track position. You know, hey, it could work out for him. You never know.
opinion. You know, you can't overemphasize it. But if you follow the leader, you're just going to follow the leader, and especially when the leader doesn't show a lot of chinks in the armor. You know,
Right.
you really you got to execute flawlessly, and you got to start finding anything you can do to be different than him.
Totally agree on that.
And it could backfire. I mean, hell, it could backfire. You get yourself trapped a lap down by pitting early. But at the end of the day, we come here to win the thing, not to run second or third.
Looks like we got a couple people taking the pits here. Tay McDonald, Leroy Koblenz, and Dylan Picklesheimer, I believe.
Yeah, he
Takers.
announced she was coming in. I heard that over the radio. Leroy being a spot here, battling side by side for the 3-lap down category.
Yeah, man, that sucks for him. Not the day he wanted.
No, not at all.
Gonna put Travis back up in the top 10 right now. We'll have to see how things cycle around after the pit stop. But hey, the new guy, Doug, Denise, D-Nice. I'll have to get double check that. Yeah, Dougie D. Look at him right now, man. He's running an 11th spot, up 15 positions since the start of this race. So, heck yeah, brother. It's awesome.
Tell you what, doing this on Saturday nights gives me a whole new appreciation for, and you know, my last name's Zappadil, so I don't have a whole lot of room to talk. But see guys like Andy Pankowiak show up and run the ARCA race, and you always see the struggle with the announcers, and I'm like, man, now I get it.
Oh, saw somebody locking up coming to pit road.
Yeah, it was a pit lane lockup right there.
Sure was.
Maybe a penalty coming out. Was that Diaz in the 26? Maybe
I think it might have been Michael York. Could be wrong though. Actually, it could have been Aaron Miller too. I think it might have been the 10.
There we go. Yeah, it was. Saw those red and blue colors start to get hungry for that Domino's pizza again.
That's too funny.
There's Waylon Turner up to 8. Strong run. I mean, you got to keep in mind, not only did he have that huge moment over there down the front stretch, but this race has stayed green. It's not like we had a caution and he regrouped and changed his underwear.
Right.
This thing has just been trucking through, and he's made up for that whole big. Honestly, it was a wreck. I mean, it just didn't have a caution, really.
Exactly. You're not wrong there. Looks like Carnathan on pit road.
Man, that you got to feel for him. A lot of speed, and just the race has not gone his way. And, you know, when you have these races that don't have yellows, you got to be flawless.
Right. Yeah.
And I cannot believe we're on lap 123 of 150 here in the Johnny B 150, and that thing's flown by, honestly.
It really has. Oh yeah, we got a battle going on back here. You know what? I think the 59 is actually. Double check that. I don't think the 81, 90, and 59 are battling for a spot there, are they?
81, 90,
81
15, and
I think the 59 might be a lap down. He'd almost have to be because it's showing right now that the
59, Robert Roth is our lucky dog right now.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it's showing right now on my live scoring that the 90, 81, and 06 are battling for the 3rd spot right now. So
that's a tie battle right there, too.
Hell yeah, it is.
They're all under a blanket, 3rd, 4th, 5th. They're battling for that last interview spot.
Yes, they are.
You know, F1, they got the podium over here. We got the interview. That's way better. Who wants champagne on a Saturday? Get yourself a beer and come to the interview room.
That's exactly how we do it. That's funny.
Look at these guys side by side. I mean, We're 125 laps into this race. And we still get side-by-side stuff, side-by-side, 2x2 all the way back through here. Just action everywhere you look.
Yeah, it is, man. It's just awesome. Oh, look at that 12.
Oh, now we're the hell with 2x2. We're just gonna go 3 wide. You see him backing out there. That's probably a smart move. Get backed out. But
Yeah, I'm thinking he might
that's
have
a rough corner to make.
a little fresher tires as we see some more people taking pit
Couple
road
guys
here.
peeling off there.
Looks like Adam might be one of them.
I think Picklesheimer's trying to kind of get through this. Honestly,
Yeah.
I know he's a couple laps down. I think he's probably a net 1 lap down once this thing cycles through. He's 3 down right now, but you don't want to interfere with the leaders. But at the same time, time is money right now.
Right, exactly.
Got them new tires on there. You gotta roll.
Get out of my way.
And it's a challenge when you're in that position as a lap car because, again, it comes down to etiquette. These guys, race with each other every week. You don't want to go out there and make enemies with a guy because, they're battling for second, third. They're on the lead lap. But you also want to get yourself back on the lead lap as soon as you can because if that yellow waves, you don't want to be trapped 3 laps down. Even if you get back 2 down and the leader hadn't pit yet, you're still miles ahead.
Absolutely.
We have the lucky dog, and that's great if you're 1 lap down. But if you're 2, 3, 4, 5 laps down, it's a rough place to be in because you essentially got to have, 3, 4, 5 yellows to let all those 1 lap down cars before you start seeing any benefits of that lucky dog.
Yeah, that's a very frustrating spot to be in for sure.
And these guys, I guess they're gonna. Other than Adam Boughton, it looks like a lot of these guys are just going to not listen to me and run this thing as deep into the final fuel run as they can.
It sure looks like it, man. Oh, saw some more smoke there.
Not a bad play, though, if I'm one of these guys. As long as you keep that 94 of Adam Boughton a lap down. I'd probably pit once he goes a lap down because at this point you've already made the bet.
Right.
You either want to pit way before him and have those new tires on while he's on old tires and you're making up ground that way, or you want to try to pin him a lap down because even though he's in the lucky dog spot right now, you got to keep in mind, you get the lucky dog, you're starting to tail end of the longest line.
Right, right.
We about had a big stack up there coming to pit road. You start at the tail of the lead line, of the longest line. You're on the lead lap, yes, but you got to fight through the whole group of lap cars now. So if you're a John Osborne, Brad Rivers, Ryan McCall, that hasn't had the speed to go out there and just outrun it, hell yeah, I'm going to try to pin him a lap down.
Absolutely, man. That's what they're doing right now. They're going to...
Just as I say that, they're 94 rows. And
yeah.
As of last time by, he has unlapped himself. So now we see Osborne coming in. And now we're going to start to see the scoring board. Rivers will be in soon, Call, and Burton and Holtzman will be in, and then we'll see the scoreboard just return back to what we've seen all night long. I
think you're correct on that. Unless we get a caution, that's going to be the story of the night. But, I mean, hey.
You know, Wayne Pertic and Adam Boughton are on very similar strategy this last time around as far as number of laps on the tires. They're within 2 seconds of each other right now. So this may get interesting.
Yeah, it's been a great night for that 13, man. He's I don't think he's been outside the top 5 the whole night. I mean, other than
letting the deal of the week.
Yeah. Other than letting the pit cycle play out, but
well, yeah,
he's had a great run, man. Great run for that 13.
Brad Rivers getting his credit for leading the lap. Alan Holtzman's going to see if he stays out to get himself an extra point here. Survey says, yeah, he's going to roll with it.
He is. He's going to get that extra bonus point for leading that lap. So, hey, take him while you can get him. He knows he's not going to win this race unless something dramatic happens. So, why not?
I don't mind that. See what happens here. You're kind of rolling the dice anyway.
Yep. He's just out there Praying for a caution right now. Somebody, come on.
You can tell he's. You're hoping for a caution. You're hoping it's not you because he's
Yeah.
fighting that car right now.
Yeah, he definitely is doing that.
I mean, I have seen him go into the corner, and that thing has done everything other than what you want it to do going into the corner. It's pushed. It's been tight. It's been loose. It's about swapped ends. I mean, it is not a fun car to drive right now. But again, hell, you get a yellow right now. I mean,
Oh, man, that would be something. That would be exciting. That's for sure. I mean, Kate Lee's still hanging on, too. He's still on those old tires.
Yeah. That's, man, I almost wonder if these guys are going to try it.
I was just thinking that, and I'm like, there ain't no way.
Yeah.
Hey, these guys have pulled off some pretty crazy finishes, so.
You know, after, we talked about it all the time, after the Brickyard last year, the road course at Indy wanted an extra, what was it, almost 2.5 laps that we thought there's no way you can make it. You just stayed out.
Yeah, that was insanity.
Man, that proved to me these guys don't mess around.
They do not. And as we are coming to 13 to go, number 94 has regained the throne here at Texas Motor Speedway, looking to take the W in a dominating fashion for race number 7 of the season. But you know what, man? This thing is not over, and you don't celebrate until the flag waves. And we've learned that time and time again, because anything can happen in motorsports.
I mean, Lynn Burdick, another 2 seconds off Adam Fountain's lead that last time.
Yeah.
1.4 seconds. That's not comfortable when you've been out as much as 5 or 6 seconds earlier.
No, I was just like, yeah, his lap times are really good right now.
These guys, you know, and that's something I love it with this league on Saturday nights is yet again another half a tenth of a second. I mean, he's still coming, but it's like there is no dull race. We've got 140 laps under green flag conditions at a mile-and-a-half track, and yet here we are shaping up for a hell of a finish.
Yeah. Man, you got to give a shout-out to Kane Lee right now. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be able to make it, but it looks like he might try it. I don't know, man. He may. I don't know.
What if he sneak out a top 5 out of this?
Unless he's kind of clutching it or really, really backing up the corner, I don't see him being able to make it on fuel unless there's something that I'm missing. But I think right now looks like, oh my gosh, he short pitted on the 3rd stint. He's only got 28 laps.
There you go. There you have it.
Wow. All right. Yeah, he should be able to make it to the end of this thing.
I think he's going to end up with probably about a 8th place finish. I mean, which hadn't been talked about it tonight. So to run out of here with an 8th place finish is a pretty solid point tonight.
Absolutely, man. He's able to do that. That's way better than where he was running before that strategy. So heck yeah, man. Awesome effort on that.
I think that Best Buy hot rod has done spent all their coupons because
yeah,
he's down up to a 1.9 second gap between Adam Fountain and Dwayne.
Right. He tried it, but I think he cooked it a little bit there.
Well, when you see the leader out there, that's like dangling a carrot in front of you. You're not gonna try to go after him. So.
Right. Most definitely.
The effort.
Yes, sir. But hey, it looks like Kyle Diaz in the 26. Looks like he's going to get himself a top 10 here. Up 11 spots since the beginning of this thing. Great points day. John Osborne in the number 81, running in 7th. And again, we've talked about it a couple times, man. Waylon Turner. Yeah, I mean, he could have very easily been sitting on pit road, you know? I mean,
think about it. He wrecks there. You know, yeah, you probably get a caution, but he's back at the back of the field having to start from scratch.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
Geez, this race is flown by.
Yeah, it really has.
We're down here 7 laps to go. And hope Johnny B's tuned in and enjoying the show.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah, it looks like things are kind of spread out right now a little bit for the most part, but we kind of have that from time to time here, especially at a track like Texas. But once again, man, we got to give a shout out to the number 40 of Doug. Well, again, we'll have to get the proper pronunciation moving forward, but for his first night here in ECRL, man, he's put on a very good run, man.
You know, we first highlighted him a little bit ago, and he was back there in 20th place. Good solid run. He's, you know, we've had an all green flag race. Here he is up there in 12th place at the end of this. I mean, that's a good way to show up in a league and just let everybody know, you know, I'm going to be a good, consistent racer, and I'm going to be respectful, and you know, start getting all those you know, opinions formed properly early on. You know, you don't, like I said, you don't want to ruffle any feathers in my corner.
Yep, absolutely, man. Looks right now, the guy on the move right now is Tyler Burden. He's closing that gap on Dwayne Furtick for the second spot. He's got about 3 laps to do it. Gonna see if he can get it. Looks like Adam Boughton's gonna do a walk-off homer here. I don't think anybody's got anything for that 94.
No, he's done. Typical Adam Boughton show. I mean, it's you know, we've referenced it on here before, but it's frustrating to race against the guy because he's so good at leaving a little bit extra in the tank.
Right.
And, you know, even if you can stay with him over the long run, it's like you can't ever make a pass because he's always got a little bit more than what you've got.
I understand that. Well, I tell you, I think Tyler might get him here. He's definitely faster if he can get a little bit of just a little bit of clean air on that front nose on that bottom line. I think he's going to get this 13 here with just a couple to go.
You know, and 2 to go. I'd almost consider sending it in there and wrapping the top. He says, "I don't want your opinion, Zab." Let's see if he can pull this off here. Oh yeah, big slip up there from the 13.
Looks like he's got it.
13 got a little too high. You really need to keep the car lower, and having Burden down there doesn't allow him to keep the car pinned down at the bottom quite like you'd like.
Right. And as we cross the stripe, we have got 1 to go. This final time by for Adam Boughton in the number 94 machine has been dominant all night here with race number 7 at Texas. Legacy Texas Motor Speedway at that. What a performance he has put on here tonight. Thank you everybody for tuning in. And make sure you stick around for the driver interviews after the conclusion of this final lap here. He's gonna do it.
School's in session. There's the bell. Class is over.
Class is over. 94 does it again. Adam Boughton winning here at Texas Motor Speedway. We're gonna step aside for just one moment, grab some drivers, and we're gonna be right back with the top 3 driver interviews. All right, we are going to grab our winner here, number 94 of Adam Boughton. Looks like the number 1 celebrating a little bit here, a little team action, I'd have to suspect. Let's see if we can grab him right now. 94, Evo, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. We don't even know where to start with this one, but I mean, you got a baseball scheme, and I'm pretty sure you just hit a home run tonight here in Texas, my friend. What an ass kicking that was.
Yeah, the car was a rocket all week. We unloaded pretty good, and we had speed all through practice, and it just carried over to the race. Had a amazing strategy after that race with it running caution free, and setting an ECR iRacing record for the longest green flag run we've ever ran since we
Awesome.
switched over.
Hey, that's great, man. Yeah, you looked really great, man. A really, really impressive long run speed. Looks like Waylon Turner's happy for you out there as well.
Yeah, he had a nice rebound. He's been struggling here lately. He came away with a top 10, so
Yeah,
for the most part, good team finish for the most part.
absolutely, man. And he certainly had a big moment earlier on in that race, so he had a heck of a rebound on his own. Yeah, I mean, really, really awesome. The entire race, green flag, very impressive. A lot of respect out there on the racetrack tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to, bud?
But give a shout out to you guys for the awesome job you do. Shout out to my teammates. We had a solid showing. And shout out to everybody that raced tonight for the awesome green flag racing.
You got it.
There were strategies all throughout the field. I think the top 3, we all took 2 tires on that last stop, and we were able to pretty much walk away from everybody else at that point.
Yeah, very awesome, man. It was a great, great showing for the league, and just an awesome race for the fans. Another great points day for number 94 team, my friend. I'm sure we'll be talking to you here in the near future, and we'll see you right back here on the 213 Broadcast Network next week.
Yes, sir. Hopefully we'll talk again next week at Talladega.
Talladega it is. All right, brother. Good
We'll
run
set the
tonight.
appointment now. Who'd win?
Now, if I get wrecked, I'm blaming you, Kevin.
All right, so let's see here. P2. Coming in second place tonight in the number 06, Tyler Burden. You got a copy?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Hey, that was a really good run, man. The Demon looked pretty good out there tonight. Tell us a little bit about your day here at Texas.
Tight.
Really tight?
Just fighting tight. Yeah. It just seemed like what was the temperature at the end of the race? It was like 114. It just seemed like it ate the tires the hotter the track.
Gotcha.
But it really rotated once you put 2 tires on it.
Oh, yeah, I can
that'll do
imagine.
it.
Yeah, it'll definitely do it. We saw you get around the 13 there with just a couple laps to go to get an awesome points day coming home, P2, and the number 06. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to the Eon team. Again, they took a chance on me after Daytona and grabbed me real quick, and everybody at the shop. Chris Travis, he's kind of the I don't know, silent one in there, just a person to say a random thing every here and there, and my mom and dad for my mom especially for carrying me for 9 months, and my dad beating some sense in me.
All right, well, that's it. Gotta love it. Well, hey, man, a great day here. Legacy, Texas Motor Speedway here in the ECR Next Gen Cup League. Great points day once again for that team, my friend, and we're going to see you next week in Talladega. Good race tonight, bud.
All right, thanks, guys.
You got it, brother.
Good job.
All right. Coming home P3 tonight, Dwayne in the number 13 Best Buy machine. You got a copy?
Yes, I got a copy. Hey,
Awesome. Hey, man. Hey, you know what, dude? You were very consistent tonight, up front the whole race. Awesome looking race car. Tell us a little bit about your day here at Texas.
Pretty good day. I just tried to keep the tires on the car. But the biggest thing, come away and put together some clean races. I haven't won yet this year, but I'm just trying to, join this league and gain the respect of my competitors by running them clean. So I'd like to give a huge shout out and thanks to the entire team Toyota, Alan, South, Kane, the whole group. Great group to race with, and this is a great place to race.
Absolutely, man. You got to love it, brother. You got to love it. Great attitude coming into this league. And hey, you guys went a whole 150 laps caution free. So that just shows what kind of stuff this league is capable of. And a great points day for that number 13 machine. That's certainly going to help you moving toward the unknown, which is Talladega next week. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go again?
Yeah, you shout out to my amazing wife, Jessica. She allows me to kind of do this on Saturday nights and everything. And so, yeah.
Absolutely, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Well, hey, another great run by that number 13 team. Dwayne, we're going to let you go, bud, and good luck next week in Talladega.
All right. Thank you, guys.
You got it, brother. Have a good night.
Good job.
All right. Well, that's about going to wrap it up for us here. And damn, Kevin, 150 laps.
We did it caution free. I did not see
Caution-free.
that one coming. This is a challenging track, and I thought, we might not have any restart chaos. I thought we'd all get settled in, but I thought for sure old tires, somebody'd snap loose, and we'd have a big wreck. And just never saw it. These guys did great tonight. That's impressive. That's hard to do.
Absolutely, 100%. And as always, we want to thank the guys that come aboard here to help sponsor this thing, all the guys and the admins at ECR. And, man.
Hey, we're going to Talladega next week.
I was just
and we
thinking
got a
that.
guy that just said, did you notice how he said that? He said, I haven't won yet.
He sure did say that.
You think he's going to be running some official races and getting ready for that Talladega coming up?
I bet he will be. Awesome race here. And also a huge shout out to you guys that watch the stream. It's fun to interact with y'all on YouTube and appreciate your support. And we're going to be back here, same bat channel, same bat time next week. Baby, we are going restrictor plate racing at the high banks of Talladega. Until then, we're going to sign off. We'll see you next Saturday night. Peace.